Work hard and get out of here. Get out of here. And like we talked about, the BTs are always up, weight room is always clean, and they're done. Go through and clean it up spotless. Whose culture is it as a strength and conditioning coach? Is it your culture? To run that team, is it your culture? Your support service. Your support service. Who was the last NFL coach you put? Jeff. Did Jeff say it's your team, Rob? It's your culture? No. And the only time I've seen strength and conditioning go bad with the sport coach is when the strength coach thinks it's his show, it's his culture, or she does. They think, oh, I'm the person, it's my culture. And I would hear this. I remember being in a staff meeting with AD and head athletic trainer, our sports performance group one time. And the trainer was making comments about the head football coach. Oh, he's running them too much, he's doing this too much, that too much. And the AD was kind of agreeing. I said, hold on a minute. I said, didn't you hire that guy and pay him to be the most intelligent football specialist on this campus? I said, he is. Or else he gets fired. He knows football better than anybody. He knows better than I do. So I said, whatever he says about football, I'm going to adjust my training based off of that. I'm not going to try to make it go the other way and tell a football coach, or a basketball coach, or any coach, field hockey coach, or anybody. I think you need to change your practice stuff. We want to lift more. No, I need to change my lifting because they want to practice more. And I need to adjust it to the play to get it ready for what they do. Now, you do have a culture. How many student athletes did you sign? That's what I go with. I didn't go in their household and tell their parents anything. I didn't bring them in and sign any scholarships. I waited on them. I met with them, told them what we do. We got here, I'm waiting on them. So they're not my athletes per se. They are, but they're not. Who do you support and serve? Support that head coach. You got to get to the back to where you support the head coach. But you do have your weight room coach. You do have your strength and conditioning coach. That's got to work in tune with your head coach. But you've got to have what we do in the weight room. This is how we do it. You're in charge of that. You're totally in charge of that. But you're the owner. That's what I always learned years ago. This is not just the Central Washington weight room. This is your weight room. You're the boss here. It's your business. If you take it on as you're the CEO of this operation, you're the boss of this, you'll have a better understanding of excellence and what you take. So you don't have to lean on anybody else. Because what happens in here day in and day out is they choose. You're the CEO, be professional, represent your brand. This is your brand. Or this is the Central Washington Strength and Conditioning or Sports Performance, whatever you call it. That's the brand. Now that brand works with the other teams. The best way to get to the next job, the next promotion, where you're at, the next whatever, is to do an amazing job where you are. Ethan's talking about that. Be where your feet are. I've had so many assistants that I have to take in office and say, where are you? Because, you're looking in there for jobs and stuff, and if you keep doing that, I'm going to help you get the next job. And you're going to leave. I'm going to kind of get you some momentum started. Be where you are. Be great where you are. And then I'm going to tell other people about you. Can't help it. They're going to see the teams you work with, and they're going to see them getting better. And they can't help but say, who's the strength coach that works with that team? Okay? You are building a reputation. People talk. Okay? Excellence is hard to keep quiet. You can't keep it quiet. Here's something funny. I'm not bragging on myself. When we first got to Virginia Tech, just like that video you saw, we had a video guy who was always following us around making videos, us training and stuff. About the third year, once we started really taking off, the head coach said, quit making all the videos, training because people were calling, asking to talk to me because they wanted to do what we were doing. And he didn't want them doing it. So I'm like, why are you making those videos? Those are kind of cool. I don't make them. I don't want to be in the videos. I said, they were pretty cool. I said, Coach, that's not people. Put them on social media, just get them, from the coaches call. That's how you guys are training. Other coaches were calling, offering me jobs and stuff. They didn't want to disrupt it. That's fine. But anyway, you do a great job. People will know. People will start asking. Do you speak their language? That's one thing you've got to understand, especially dealing with multiple sports, multiple, administrators, coaches. You can't just have the same old dialect with everybody. You got to learn how to speak to administrators. You got to learn maybe when the AD calls you, you change your shirt and go up there and meet with them a little bit, or and speak a little different than you do if it's your right tackle or something. You got to learn to speak, and this thing is evolving and changing. At my age, at 61, I'm dealing with 17-year-olds to 20-something-year-olds. The music's not the same. The language is not the same. It changes. If I don't keep up with it a little bit, they think, oh, you're just some old fart over there. So I have to learn that language to speak to it. It's part of what drives that culture. They know you care about it. Understand those things, they're going to buy in. The entire point of your life as a coach is it's about them. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's like that family. Forget about me. I love you. It's not about me. I don't want to be in those videos. I don't want to be the guy, the camera hands to on the sideline. I want it to be about them. I want to be that person who's promoting them. That sometimes gets lost in this day and age. You see some strength coaches that want to be the theme, Look at me, look at me. See, a lot of that is social media. It's about how you can invest in others. How can you influence them, educate them, and lead them? How can you lead better as a strength and conditioning coach? Got to have trust. Trust leads to influence. They don't trust you, it's done. It's done. They'll talk behind your back, they'll go to their position coach, eventually they'll go to the head coach. They don't trust you. I don't trust them. If they trust you, they're going to be going to the head coach saying, man, I love that guy. I love that coach. Man, I've gotten so much better. And it just makes everything more. Gives you that power of influence. There's no more important skill in leadership than influence. Tony Robbins said that. You guys ever read his stuff? Influence. What is influence? The capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior. Character. How many of you think you can coach character? You can help it. I promise you that. Just like Coach Metzger was talking about, that young man, she had to kick him out of the weight room. He was teaching him some tough love, some character. She was helping him develop some character. He came back. If she would have just babied him the whole time, he wouldn't have learned a thing. If she would have, allowed him to get by with that poor, activity that he was displaying, she wouldn't have helped him. She kicked him out. She let him know she was there, and he wanted to change his mind. He changed his mind and developed some character. Helped his character. She influenced development. That's what we do in here. Behavior. She helped his behavior also. How can we become better? First, understand what you do as a strength and conditioning coach. You motivate, you cultivate, and you educate, and then it also inspires. Vicky Marotti told me this. Vicky Marotti is a very good strength. She's excellent. Strength and conditioning coach at Ohio State, multiple national champions. Motivate. I had an assistant one time, and I told him this, and he says, I don't think it's my job to motivate. I write a really good program, they follow it. I said, what happens if they're having a bad day? Oh, that's on them. I don't think this profession is for you. you don't have a desire to motivate a young person, male or female, you see them having a bad day and you don't want to motivate them to kind of come out of that, help them understand what we're about to do, maybe you should be a strength minister. Maybe you should be an online programs. Cultivate, talk about that, having the ability to teach them how to cultivate their life, educate, you're educating, you've got to be a good educator. And inspires. Ways to inspire them, you talk to them, tell them stories of your life, tell them stories of other people's lives, people that have done what they're trying to do. You help inspire them. These ultimately lead to influence. A good strength coach needs to be a good in-hire, not an in-ethic.
Yeah.
Okay. Got to be a good in-hire, master influencer. You know what the other in-ethic is. Motivate them by being real. Be you. You've already heard that a couple times today. I remember when Alabama was winning national championships, and Scott Cochran was the strength coach, and then he started getting on all the social media and stuff. And I was like, yeah, baby! They're screaming in the weight rooms now. I'm like, you don't like that, please. I saw this coach over here. That's not you. That hits Scott Cochran from the minute he wakes up. That dude is like that. That's him. Scott Cochran gets his 2 feet on the floor in the morning and yells, yeah. I promise you, that guy is just wired like that. You know? So it's a joy to watch him because he is being him. That's not me. If that's not you, don't try to be whoever. Be who you are. Be real. You must be motivated to motivate. You come in the weight room, guys, today we're gonna work hard. Okay, we're gonna it's not heavy, you know, wants to go hard. We just push hard for that. Now you don't have to be on the other end and take it, but you gotta have some motivation. You gotta love this job. You know? I've done this for 35 years or so. I've never had a bad day. I've never had a day where I went home and told my wife I hate that job. I'm just like, hey, make sure you can help me with my lunch tomorrow. Thank you for dinner. I'm going to bed. I gotta go. You know, I want to get back over there. I want to get those kids ready. Bring the kids to see them. That's the way it was. Have energy because they're young, and if you don't have that energy, they're going to sense it. They're like, I hate that shit. You know, they can sense that. You got to have energy. Creativity, being creative. Okay? Creativity plus energy equals production. That was another one I got from Mariah. Be creative.